Most AI agents feel smart for one session, and then they forget the moment the chat ends. That is the ceiling I want to break in this lesson. Hermes Agent is already useful because it can use tools, read files, run commands, and work from places like Telegram or the terminal. But when Hermes is connected to OpenViking, it gets a much more serious layer. A persistent knowledge system that you can search, browse, and actually inspect. So in this video, I'm going to show you the full picture. First, we'll look at OpenViking itself and why it describes memory, resources, and skills as one context file system for AI agents. Then I'll switch into the Hermes terminal interface running inside WSL, and I'll prove that this Hermes profile is using OpenViking as its memory provider. After that, we'll open the OpenViking Studio dashboard and browse the memory directly, not as a vague promise, but as folders, resources, memories, and agent knowledge you can navigate. The reason this matters is simple. If your agent only remembers inside a chat window, it is fragile. If the memory lives in a real knowledge base, the agent can build on its own history. That is where Hermes and OpenViking become a winning combination. Let's start with OpenViking from the outside. The important phrase here is context file system for AI agents. That is a very different mental model from a normal chatbot memory toggle. A simple memory feature usually stores facts like the user prefers concise answers, or this project uses a certain framework. That helps, but it does not give you a full operating surface. OpenViking is trying to organize agent context in a way that feels more like a file system. Memories can live next to resources, skills can be represented and indexed, project knowledge can be browsed, and the agent can retrieve context at the level of detail it needs instead of dumping everything into the prompt every time. For a practical agent like Hermes, that distinction is huge. Hermes already has local skills, local memories, session history, tools, profiles, and workflows. OpenViking gives that world a shared structure. It can hold durable context, it can expose that context through readable paths, and it can make the agent's knowledge less invisible. The point is not just that Hermes remembers more. The point is that the memory becomes something you can audit. You can ask, what does the agent know, where is that knowledge stored, and is it connected to the right profile? That is exactly what we're about to verify. Now I'm switching from the public website into the actual Hermes environment. This is the part I care about most, because it proves we are not just talking about architecture. Here, Hermes is running from WSL, and I'm checking the active profile that is connected to this OpenViking memory system. Notice the important detail. Built-in memory is still active, but the external provider is OpenViking. That means Hermes keeps its normal local behavior, while OpenViking becomes the connected provider for the larger memory layer. This is also why profiles matter. I'm not claiming every random Hermes profile on the machine is connected to the same memory. I'm showing the profile that is configured for this work. In a real setup, that separation is useful. You can have one agent profile for video production, another for development, another for research, and each profile can have its own tools, memories, and operating rules. When the status says OpenViking is installed and available, that is the bridge. Hermes can now use OpenViking-backed memory and knowledge operations during its work. The agent is no longer just answering from a temporary chat. It has a persistent place to store, search, and organize context. Now, we're in OpenViking Studio, and this is where the concept becomes real. Instead of treating memory like a black box, we can browse it. At the top level, OpenViking exposes a structure that looks like a knowledge file system. There is a user area where long-term user memory can live. There is an agent area where agent-specific knowledge and profile-level context can be organized. And there are resources, which are useful for indexed documents, skill mirrors, operational references, and other durable material that the agent may need later. This is the part I think people underestimate. If Hermes learns a workflow and saves it as a skill, the local Hermes skill file is still the source of truth. But in an OpenViking connected setup, that skill should also be represented or indexed here, so search and browsing stay consistent. Hermes runs from its local skill directory, while OpenViking acts as the knowledge mirror and search layer. That gives you two advantages at once. First, the agent can retrieve relevant context without you repeating yourself every session. Second, you can inspect the memory yourself. If something is wrong, stale, or missing, you are not stuck hoping the model remembers correctly. You can navigate the folders, find the resource, and verify what the agent is working from. This is why the file system model matters. It makes memory operational. It turns agent context into something you can manage. So here is the practical takeaway. Hermes is the operator. It talks to you, uses tools, runs commands, edits files, and follows workflows. OpenViking is the durable context layer. It gives that operator a memory system you can search, browse, and verify. When the two are connected, the agent becomes much easier to trust over time. It can remember preferences, preserve procedures, index resources, and keep a structured history of what it has learned. And just as important, you can look inside that memory instead of treating it like magic. If you are building serious AI agent workflows, this is the kind of setup you want. Not just a chatbot with a longer context window, but an agent with tools, profiles, skills, and an inspectable knowledge base behind it. That is the winning combination. Hermes does the work, and OpenViking gives the work a memory that survives the session.